Right, it's very simple. I rang a 3-time major champion and I got him to give me some lessons. You're the best, worst golfer I've ever seen. And he stopped short of just saying, you're an idiot.
Well, we have booked my tattoo, you have to go and get yours. So I was like, oh, well, I'm off to get a tattoo then.
It is incredible. Like, oh. It is so good. I love doing Trump, like when she gets into bed, I'm like, you know what, you look really beautiful. She's like, stop.
Right guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Pete Lockett, I'm TravisMathew Ambassador, and I am joined this morning by this young man. Conor, good to see you, mate. Good to see you. How you doing?
35 years old, not that young, but
I'm older than you. Yeah, I've had an easier life, so I think.
I've got the grey going on as well. I do, I just shave it up.
So we're here at the Wisley. Thank you so much for having us. And we're chatting about your game before we potentially go and find you a few tips to help you play better golf. However, I want to know more about you and your journey. So what's your handicap at the moment? What are you off?
My handicap is
Real
10.6.
So you've come down there.
Yeah, roughly about 6 shots, nearly 6 shots, yeah. Hoping to be 9 in the next couple of weeks. I need another 2.
I just like the fact you went casually, I just drop 6 shots. So yeah, that's easy. How the hell did you do that quickly?
Oh, it's actually very simple. Right, it's very simple. I rang a 3-time major champion and I got him to give me some lessons. And that was it. I think that's all you got to do.
So you're at
Padraig Harrington.
Yeah, I'm going to get better at golf. Just call 3-time major champs. That's just...
Yeah, no. To be fair now, I'm in, like, what a position to be in to actually do that. So I texted Padraig. So he said he could get anything to single figures or whatever. Now, I was trying to break 80. It wasn't so much like single figures. My thing was like, I want to break 80. That was my goal for the year. So I contact Padraig and he says, meet me in the K Club on Friday, whatever. And we just went through everything. But I thought he was going to like completely like just
rebuild, restart.
Take my swing, strip it down and give me a brand new swing and stuff. And he's like, no, we're not doing that. He's like, let me see your swing. And pretty much he's like, if I had your swing, I'd be a scratch golfer.
But you wanted a rebuild.
Listen, no, 100%. I was expecting, like, if I'm being honest, I was a bit like, I thought he was going to like tell me to bring the club up here and stop here and do this and do that.
Mechanical.
Yeah, no. He was much more like, right, you have a really good swing. And you actually, he said, your good shots are your bad shots and your bad shots are your good shots. Now, I was like, this doesn't even make sense.
But and in the accent that I can't do.
You know, he was like, your good shots are your bad shots are your good shots. I mean, so when I was hitting it straight, he's like, those are mishits. And I'm like, what do you mean or whatever? So he was showing me my numbers and he's like, you should be hitting the ball way longer and everything. So on, while I was pulling them,
right,
all my numbers were so much better. And he's like, you just have to start these shots over here. And I would obviously don't pull them, but like, you need a draw.
So your bad shot was typically more of a fade shot, pull shots, slice shots, those sorts of ideas when you started off 16?
Yeah. Like I was slicing an awful lot. But then when I'd hit it straight, I'd think good shot. But he's like, your 4-iron is going like 160 carry. You know, sorry, still laughing at me then. But he's like, but your pitching wedge and like your 8-iron's going like nearly 150. Like imagine like my... So
there's some really simple wins there then, just get the long game in a better shape really.
Yeah, right. So like, we do this anyway, and I'm like, right, Grant. So we spent a whole day doing everything. And even my putting stroke, I thought I was a terrible putter. And he's like, you've got a great stroke. Can I scrunch? Yeah, she said to me, he goes, you're the best, worst golfer I've ever seen. And he stopped short of just saying, you're an idiot. He literally...
I think that was a given. So your journey started there then? Was it a whole day?
Yeah, the whole day. So anyway, I went off and I practiced like a maniac for about 2 weeks. A lot of range stuff. And then I shot a 41 in my home course, one in Gary, right? And I rang Gary Murphy at the K Club and I'm like, Gary, I'm hot. Like, I'm going to break 80. This would be brilliant for like the first episode straight after Harrington.
Let's get
I break 80. I walk out onto the first tee box and I completely slice it off to the right. So I pretty much reverted to type. As soon as the pressure came on me, camera was on, I did all the old stuff. Like all the stuff, like I worked on with Padraig. Like it just left me that day. So I was so down about it. Like I was like, I'm embarrassing me. I'm embarrassing him. And I felt I'm after putting this like crazy pressure on myself. So it took me about 4 weeks to publish the episode.
Because you were so upset by it.
You know, I shot at 98 and I was like, felt so bad about it. I put it on my YouTube channel, but I didn't like publicize it at all because I didn't want Harrington to see it.
So you're not worried about the view, you're worried about Harrington being in touch with you.
Yeah. So to avoid him seeing it, so I just put it up quietly, but I never put it on Instagram, never put it anywhere. And I'm like, that'll do there. And then that was at like 12 o'clock. Well, 8 hours later, he texts me, Harrington, he's like, saw the episode, what did you shoot at Pinehurst? Because I had played Pinehurst.
Yeah, I
before.
saw. Yeah,
So I'm like, well, I shot 96. And I was like, which isn't bad at Pinehurst.
Definitely not. No, yeah, definitely not.
But he's like, how have you not broken 80 yet?
Like, he's expecting you to have read.
Oh, yeah. He's like, and he's like, you should have done it by now.
So the text message was a little bit telling off, or was like, you should, this is encouragement? Like, how would you describe that message?
Well, I went up, I took a shower, and I was in the shower for 45 minutes, like just staring at the ground. Like, I felt like he'd just given up. But then I just practiced like a maniac.
Right.
Like a maniac. Because then I was like, all right, no, the pressure's really on me. Like, he's watching. He's like, all right, when are you doing it? And it actually was the best thing that happened to me. Like, even my wife was we were sitting at the counter like this, and Harrington's texting me, and I'm reading the messages back, and I'm rereading them, and I'm like, and she's like, will you relax? And then when he texts me, the phone dinged off, and I was like, and she's like, oh, what did he say? It's like, even she was taking a mick out of me, like. So anyway, practiced like a maniac, and then I ended up going out and I shot 76 about 3 weeks after, where I spent the next 3 weeks just doing everything he said. But then I was trying to do it on the golf course. I was doing a lot of range stuff. It's kind of hard because to bring it onto the golf course. So when you're on the range, you're just hitting the same shot, so you're getting it.
Well, you've got the range practice. You're trying to do what someone's telling you to do. So A, you're learning it. Then you've got to take it to the golf course. But then in your case, you're taking it to the golf course with a camera running.
Yeah.
Like, that's difficult.
Pressure.
Yeah. So that's a lot of showers of 45 minutes probably.
And then when he was like texting me, you should have done it by now. And all of a sudden, then I texted him when I shot 96. I was like a child running home to her father. I was like, I did it. I shot 76. He's like, he puts it up on Twitter and he's like, wow, that was quick.
So you missed the whole fact that you were just in utter dismay about failure.
Yeah.
So golf's getting better then, was what you're saying.
It did. The big thing for me was like, driving was the last part to come, like, because of a very like high launch and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was still like, I was struggling to get that. I was just struggling to control my driver. So I was like, and he was saying to me, like, practice actually a lot more getting out of trouble, like.
So like specialist shots, punch shots, all sorts of ideas.
That stuff I was going to ask you to do today.
So there we go. So,
I'd love to hit my drive lower. Like, I have a very high drive and it like just tails off to the right. I'd love like low and to the left if I could.
So low little draw of the driver. Magic wand, we'll do that one. And then specialist shots, maybe sort of like a punch, sort of long iron.
Yeah, we're saying long, like a 4-iron under a tree. My course, Mullingar's got a lot of trees and I'm always like underneath them. So I need like a little draw around the tree or a little fade around the tree, that kind of shot.
So just wave the magic wand then today, is it? So that if you got a couple of shots there, then a little bit lower drive, maybe a little more control with the longer clubs, we're sort of looking 7, 8, 9 handicap soon then, are we? 2, 3? 2, 3? Yeah, let's have another coffee before that happens. No, we'll do that, mate. I'm looking forward to it. But I will send you the odd message, like encouraging and maybe just a little bit turning off. I'm looking forward to this.
Hey guys, I'm Justin Rose, Olympic champion. I'm here with fellow Olympian. I see you've got the tattoo, Pete Lockett. We're with TravisMathew. So tell us about your Olympic medal. You obviously have one.
Do I have one? No, I don't. No, thanks for that,
You've got
mate.
the tattoo.
I've got the tattoo. I was
noticed
taken aback by that. That was decent. Oh, Justin, I didn't win a medal at all, but I just got back from the Olympics. Not playing like you, mate, I'm afraid, but just as a coach.
And as part of the parcel of qualifying, a bit of a story about it. I remember meeting the player that I was ended up going to the Olympics with.
Yes.
And I went out to Arizona about a year ago. And as these professional golfers sort of lay out their year, you sort of say, okay, what's your goal? What would you like to achieve this year? And she came out with a couple of things. Elena came out with a couple of things. And she said, I want to get my full tour card back. I want to win. I want to go to the Olympics. I thought, well, that's a fairly big list, isn't it? I was expecting just drop a stroke or two or get better at putting. She went, no, tour card, couple of wins. I want to get into the Olympics. So I thought, well, if you get your couple of wins, you'll probably go to the Olympics. And if you get your couple of wins, you'll keep your tour card. So we just need to get you better in that way. So you got a couple of wins, got a tour card, going to the Olympics. And then I get a message about 2 days later after it all got announced and said, I've sent you $250. Go get yourself your tattoo and don't turn up without it. Bitches, how you got it? I'm sat there. You were saying earlier about getting a message. I sat there going, I've just received, because my bank account went off. I thought, it's a funny payment. Why 250 quid? I haven't done anything. What's going on here? And it came through from Elena Sharp, and I went, why have you sent me $250? She said, well, we have booked my tattoo, you have to go and get yours. So I was like, oh, well, I'm off to get a tattoo then. But I was like, okay, this is probably a once in a lifetime thing. We found out after when we went there that I was the only.
You went over to the Olympics.
Yeah, I was there. I was there for about 10 days, eight to 10 days.
Yeah.
And I found out I was the only British pro there. There was nobody else. And to go to the Olympics, you can't just go. You have to, as a coach, you have to do accreditation. You have to be an Olympic certified coach so that they know that you know about doping, you know about safety, you know about bullying, you know about everything. And I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be a nice little jolly. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was amazing to be out there. But it took some bloody work to get out there. So this is earned, pal. This is earned. But it was good fun. It was good fun.
I'm always taking the mick out of Justin Rose, even though I don't even remember him mentioning the bloody thing. I just started saying that he mentions it all the time. I actually don't know if he does mention it.
I'm
He
sure.
probably does.
I'm sure he does.
But yeah.
I mean, you got to if you're an Olympic champ. I mean, I'd be wearing it around my neck now.
Coaching at the Olympics, how did you get into coaching and coaching golfers?
I mean, like I used to play a little bit. I was never that good, but I always found myself going to the range, working on my own game, and then helping somebody else out. Yeah. And the big kicker for me was when I quit playing for a bit, I went to work for the European Tour, and I ended up running qualifying school for about 6 or 7 years. And during that time, I remember going to qualifying school grand final, which is out in the PGA Catalonia, out in Spain, and there was a guy on the range struggling like hell. And as an official for the European Tour, I can't talk to you really because that's helping and biased in areas. We're told specifically you can't do that. But this guy was struggling, and I kind of knew him anyway from playing days, and he had no entourage. So I went up and stood next to him and just chatted to him because he looked like he was about ready to. He was not an happy bunny.
Yeah.
And I ended up giving him a few tips, and he played better, but he's already missed the cut really. But he played better, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm on the wrong side of this gig. Like I wanted to help him, but I couldn't. And I remember getting a severe turn off my like the guy who was in charge at the European Tour. He was like, "You can't do that. Like that's bad." So I remember coming back from that, going, "Well, I'm on the wrong side of this gig," and I just decided to go full-time coaching, and here I am. It just
What year was that?
I went full-time
2016.
Yeah, I mean, I was coaching for years before that on and off, but at 16 I went, I'm jacking everything and I'm coaching. And literally in the last 5 to 7 years, it's just gone bang. Yeah. Within 5 years at the Olympics. Nuts, isn't it? I mean, I got videos on my Instagram in my back garden hitting balls into a shed, giving online lessons, and 5 years later I'm at the Olympics.
An Olympic champion. That's how it is.
I wish I was. But it is golf, right? I got lucky to meet the person I was meeting at the right time. She was open to conversations. Like you, I mean, the amount of people you must have met doing what you're doing, it's like it just opens doors, another door opens, another door's open, and if you keep banging on that door, I mean, well, you said downstairs you was about to spend some time, or just spend some time with Roy Keane. I mean, that's not a sentence I hear on a day-to-day basis.
Sean had with him, yeah. No, very, very cool, yeah. Oh no, for me it's the same thing. Like I started in 2016 as well, and it's like even when we're like getting obviously lessons off Harrington, the 3-time major champion, like how does that happen? Like, you know, it's just nuts. Like, you know, or I'm shooting an ad with Roy Keane, like, you know, just Roy Keane is like a superhero in her. Do you know what I mean?
So when you were sat in your pajamas on the sofa in 15 thinking, what am I doing with my life? Now you're filming Roy Keane.
Pajamas, man, maybe 2000, like when I was 12, pajamas, but not like.
I was thinking when you come out of the shower.
Like
I was thinking when you come out of the shower. Like, I just need not think about golf. I was Roy Keane, by the way.
I got legend, man. He's just funny, like, you know. It was when I met him, I was a little bit like, you don't know what way, because when you see him on TV, it's always like, you know, listen, you know, get show a bit of personality, whatever. And then when you meet him, he's like, all right, what's the story? He's just like, all right, he's not that angry.
I was we're big United fans in our house. My old man was like, you're United or you're not. You're either in this house a United fan, or you don't belong to me. So it was like, I grew up with that. That's like, I would lose it if I was next to him. Yeah. Anybody else you've met that you've gone, this is just surreal? Doesn't even have to be in golf, but you've gone.
Oh yeah, like even when I went to the Formula One, when I was over in the US Grand Prix, like in the sky were like, Carlos Sainz is coming down. You're going to meet him, but you're going to meet him live on television, like. Oh, it was a bit like, what? I should meet him like before, just to make sure, whatever. They're like, no, he's just going to walk in when you're doing your thing, like. So like he walks over there, he stops, and I'm like, I just want to like say, oh, all good, yeah, like no problems.
It's like when you go, I'll introduce myself, but you don't need to introduce yourself.
So I'm doing the yoga. I'm like, yeah, listen, and I'm talking through the TV, and it's all like that or whatever. And he just walks over and goes,
And like, there's when you watch it on TV, there's like 2 seconds or 3 seconds. It feels like about 20 seconds. I'm like, say something. We're on television. What we like.
and he goes, it is incredible.
It's like, oh.
It is so good. Where is your accent from?
I was like, oh, Mullingar and ours too. It's like, but thankfully, no one has ever like got angry about it. Like my whole thing, like I'd hate to meet someone and they're like, oh, you know, you done me there, like or whatever. Or you know, someone punch. I reckon DJ, if he saw me, he'd just like hit me with a.
No. What was the one I saw? I saw what you were going to tell me off now. It might have been 2 or 3 years ago. You were in a bar, and it was when the Saudi stuff was coming out, and whose Poulter got like 30 mil or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, DJ.
DJ Warfare.
That was
going to go buck under 750 or whatever you said. I wet myself.
I ain't going for a penny less.
But Poulter was like, you know, I'm going. Yeah, they've offered me 30 million to join. You know, they've offered Tiger 8. You know, they've offered Patrick Reed 150 million not to join. Poulter's definitely my favourite one to do, like, because he's just, even when I'm doing gigs, like, he's the first person like I go out with because he always just sets the tone in the room.
He loves it.
I do. I mean, I'll jump into Tiger because Tiger's more of like an accurate impression. So it's, well, I always see as soon as I do Tiger in a gig, it's like, well, the conditions were really tough out there. Really tough. Now, I mean, I'm sick of saying it, but like people just aren't like, people just like hearing it, and it's.
No, people do, because that's what, when you do that, I hear it.
Words, well, I thought I putted well. And you can see people go, oh, that's good, yeah. Do you know?
Did I tell you, like, years, like, for me, like my craft, and you know, any golfer has a craft and they're doing it for years and years and years. Like, from the outset, it looks like you've already smashed these accents. Like, how did you practice it, or did you just give it a go and it came out well? Or?
No, dude, some of them are incredibly hard. Tiger actually took me a few months. So I started, like, I put my first video out for golf 2018 April. It was the Masters week. But I was working on it since Christmas.
Oh, wow.
So I had built up kind of 10 guys in that time, but a lot of them were European players. And my brother was like, I couldn't get Tiger. I was getting frustrated with it, so I just canned it. I'm like, oh, whatever. And he was kind of injured. Well, he was kind of coming back at this stage. And I'm like, oh, I'm just not doing it. My brother then was on the phone to me. He's like, I would can all the rest of the impressions as they are, because I was trying to do so many a day.
Yeah.
He's like, throw them all away, just do Tiger. He's like, just do Tiger for the next like 3 weeks. So I spent the next 3 weeks just doing Tiger. Just I would go to bed with the phone there, like, and it was the word well, like, well, I thought I put it well, and then really. So it was just a couple of words that I got. And it was a lot of fun out there and stuff and whatever. And when I got like
Your wife must have heard those sentences all the time.
I'll stop. I wrecked my wife's head, like, especially I love doing Trump. Like when she gets into bed, I'm like, you know, you look really beautiful. You look. She's like, stop.
But what you've learned there,
She wouldn't really get the golfers. But anyway, so Tiger ended up nailing Tiger then, and that was the big one. Like the video wouldn't have gone down.
But did you know that you nailed it? Like, in your mind?
No, I like I send it to people and they'll tell me like it's good. So I didn't think I had it. I was like, it's still not good enough. But I sent it to my two brothers and they were like, that's a 9 out of 10.
Right.
And they were like, that's the best one. I was like, oh really? Do you know, sometimes I need to hear from somebody else. I'm hypercritical of it.
Well, that's how you would lead it into golf. So like, you just said it's taking you from Christmas to the Masters. There's 4 months of practice.
Mm.
Noon, night, and evening in your bed. Like, it's frustration, then you get it. Like, golf is, you might get it today, you might get it tomorrow, but if you just keep doing it, keep annoying your wife with that scenario, like after a period of time, you get more and more comfortable with it.
Oh yeah. Although I read a book, A Good Walk Spoiled, that golf book, great book. And in the first chapter, it's like golf is the only game in the world where you could actually, you work really, really hard at it, and you might not get better.
Yeah, you might not get
You
better.
actually could get worse.
No, you might.
It's crazy.
I shouldn't say this, but I've only had
But
one.
you got to have a good coach. Like, you got to have someone.
But I've only had one guy in my entire life that I had to say to, and he was a really nice guy, and he didn't want to play, but his business partners did all their stuff on the course, and he gave me a call. He'd had a few golf lessons somewhere else. And he said, I'm really struggling. He said, I'm not good. Like, I'm really not good. Lovely human.
Yeah.
And I had to say to him about 35 minutes in, I was like, how important is golf to you? Because like they really, and he knew it. Like, he just didn't have any coordination, and he found the game infuriating. So there was an anger issue in there as well. And he said it's the only sport I've ever played that just winds me up. I can play tennis, I can play hockey, I can do all this. He said, I got no issues.
Yeah.
Golf, I want to snap every club in my bag. and he's obviously put the pressure under it, and then he got a coach trying to get you to better, and it was like, I just think maybe you just chill out in the buggy, mate. I think and now he doesn't play, and he was only ever forced to. But I've only ever seen one guy in 20 years in the industry that hasn't got better at this game.
Do you know my wife had the exact same chat with me about 3 months ago when I was in the midst of all this, and I was like really struggling, and after I came back from the shot the 98 at the K Club, like I could barely speak, and she did the exact same thing as you. She kind of touched me in the leg. She's like, "How important is golf to you?" Like literally, she had the exact same thing.
Are you aware this is not your career?
Yeah. She exactly said that. She's like, you know, you're a comedian, you do impressions and stuff.
Yeah. This is
You're
a
not
recreational
a golfer, a
sport.
golf coach.
Yeah.
Like you're taking this incredibly seriously.
I see the frustration come from, and that guy's a great example, because I do know he's trying to play a little bit again now. This was a few years ago. Frustration comes from when you think you should be better than you are.
Do you want me to send him a video? Just, hey mate, just please pack it in, right? You're never going to be improved.
No, 'cause I love him. I absolutely love him. But I mean, he does like a 90-hour-a-week job. But it's frustration only comes from this game of golf when you think you should get it tomorrow. But as long as you just have like a couple of simple thoughts and you do it at a repeatable time, like anyone's going to get better. And it's just golf. Golf owes you nothing. Like, unfortunately, your impression is you can do it in your bedroom. Like, unfortunately, you've got to be outside in the rain. So we're going to get wet today.
We are going to get wet today. TravisMathew, where's the wet gear?
Yeah. Where are we waiting for that, guys?
Where's the wet gear?
The wet gear?
Where's Calvin Green? That's a wrap.